Hey everybody and welcome to nftwins. Today we're going to talk about VR headsets, a sleeping giant or decreasing. Don't worry, it's decreasing like that mustache size of ours. But we're back, baby. Without the mustache, we look a lot younger. Man, let me tell you, it was a shock taking that bad boy off. You know what? This distracted the rest of the ugly that's going up on the rest of the face. But Perfect. You know what? We can put it back on because that's why we're talking about augmented reality, virtual reality, because we can get that bigote, that mustache every single day we want. And we don't have to annoy any girlfriends or girls with that. Actually, fun fact, I feel like it's a very, very, how am I going to say this, polarizing facial hair, I would say.
Well, either they love it or they hate it. I mean, either it's just like, oh my God, they really like it, or it's like, Jesus, what is that shit stain that you have in there? I mean, now people have to watch us, right? That's good one. Go on YouTube, watch us. Give us a subscribe button right there.
Papacito or, bro, you look like a fucking pedophile. I'm like,
they can see whether they have daddy issues or not. If they like the bigote, then they're like, All right, Mark, today I want to talk to you about VR headsets, because the other day I was looking at the statistics on VR headsets, because like, what is the current state, right? Because we're nowadays more and more AR glasses is the new thing, right? So for example, you see Meta pushing more and more with collaboration with Ray-Ban, so the glasses, the smart glasses. So everybody is like hyped about these glasses because, you know, they're getting better and better. But what about the bigger or smaller brother, right? The VR glasses. I'm like, we were seeing like the founder of Oculus Rift. Yeah. And he's like, in his interviews, he was saying, yeah, they hit all the milestones. And I was like, how many units did he actually sell in general? Mark, what are you guessing? Over the last few years, what are the VR headset statistics?
What's the
units range? We're starting with, for example, 2018, and then each year, just give me every 2 years. So 2018, 2020, then 2022, and then 2024.
I know that Apple did not sell a lot of them, but they were crazy expensive.
Yeah. So like 6 years ago.
6 years ago, 30,000.
4.4 million units were sold in 2018. Now 2020. 7.8. 2022.
That's 50.
Yeah, wait now, brother. We're getting 19.14 million units. Right? And then 2024, it's 23.6 million. So almost 24 million units. Just in comparison, I think the PlayStation 5 units sold last year's, I think it's like...
These are just only Meta glasses, right?
No, it's all VR glasses. So for example, the PlayStation 5... But it's about pushing the entire market. So for example, if you look at PlayStation 5, you have 21.8 million units were sold in 2023. Okay, so you have basically now the first year where more VR glasses or VR headsets are sold than actually consoles. Okay, like for me, this is mind blowing because I don't have one, so I'm like never really thinking about it. And this is for me crazy how many units are actually being sold, even though right now it's not like. Mark, have you heard about any games? Okay, no, I give you now 2 games. All right, I'm giving you 2 games. Yeep's Hide and Seek. Hide and Seek. And the other one is called Gorilla Tag, okay?
Never heard of them. No idea.
So they have on Steam like reviews, I think between 20 and 100,000 reviews. 20K and 100,000 reviews. And Gorilla Tag made, I think was released in 2021. And overall, they made over 100 million revenue already. And that is accelerating over the last year. So, for example, in January 2023, they only reached 26 million. And then in June of 2024, it was already over 100 million. So in a year and a half, the last year and a half, they made more than 74 million revenue just from that. What's actually quite interesting. So, and the other one, the second game I want to talk about is the Yeep Hide and Seek. So what Gorilla Tag makes actually quite unique is how they make motion, right? How they make movements in the game. So basically, you do it all with the arms. So basically, what they're doing is Gorilla Tag. You have like a monkey. Let me just share my screen.
Oh my God, I just saw it.
Yeah, stream search.
So you don't have to use your legs. You're basically walking
exactly,
your arms.
and you don't have to use the controller much. It's all about that.
All about
So
gestures.
gestures, and it's like
Also,
super
by the way,
cool.
quick side note, I just looked it up. Meta, so Oculus Rift has 75% market share.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, of course, they're about the best ones. So you can see like they're just like moving there when they're climbing, etc. You have to use your hands. It's a really cool video where they're just like showcasing this. So this is basically the first one who basically revolutionized how like motion could work for movement. So you only would use your arms. And then the next game that I'm going to show you is actually based on top of this. So Yeep Hide and Seek, different developer, but they took the same movement and then combined it with Minecraft and Fortnite. So you can also build stuff and play against each other. So it's like chaotic battles. You do the same thing. But yeah, look, Minecraft, you're building things. You can fight each other. So, and this is also, I think, on the way to making.
That's super cool. It's super interesting. How much did they make? Wow, 63,000 reviews. Holy fuck.
Yeah. And I think they are not even live yet. Or they were. I think they launched officially on the Metastore, I think in July. So they're not even out for so long, and they cost 27 or 28 euros. So yeah, my guess is probably like 50 million plus. Yeeps, Hide and Seek, revenue. Let's see.
That's wild. Man, that is super cool. I think
100 million.
I think these probably don't even cost that much to create. Like,
no, that's why in general I'm seeing like it's super cool because right now if you look at the Meta app store, there are not many apps out there for VR. Whereas when you look at all the computer and desktop, it's like very, very crowded. You're seeing so many games coming out left and right. Like they're spending years, big developer teams, 50 plus developing these games. Now, to compete on these marketplaces, which is basically red ocean, okay? But then if you compare to, for example, VR headset, which is a completely different platform, because in the end, it's like when first mobile came out, of course, it's like a like a blue ocean, so people can just build on top of it, and the technology is maturing. As you can see, also adoption, like units sold, like it outpaced PS5.
It's actually insane. And you know what I also think about this is how much does Facebook? They probably support them also. There's probably grants, because they want developers, right? They're going to incentivize them as much as they can. Because the problem is, so for those listeners who don't understand a little bit about gaming or these kind of things, when these emerging markets or app stores come out, they usually incentivize new developers either through grants or through very beneficial terms of service. Come and develop on the platform, because the thing is they will make money in the long run, but they need to establish themselves first. So until they are established, they'll have really, really good conditions. For example, that's why, I mean, we've talked about this already. At the beginning of the App Store, when someone had a flashlight, for example, an flashlight app, they made millions, and Apple pushed them because it was very, very useful, and they didn't have this integrated into the system yet, etc. And nowadays, still, because something popular, they got a boost and have do marketing for free for these kind of apps because it's useful, and a lot of people will do it because then they get a 15 to 30% cut of whatever the revenue is generated from this app. So I think that's super cool, and I think that Meta is, I think that's a great opportunity right now. I like it, Lucas.
So, but that's not even it, Mark. Now, how big is the VR market, VR games and headset market? Okay, this includes like headset as well as games. How big do you think it is right now?
This year, you mean?
Yes, in this year, right now.
In dollars.
Yes, dollars worldwide.
14 billion.
No, I think it's like roughly 10, something like this. Wait, because I have the statistic of 2022, but
well, think about it. If they sold 24 million headsets, and
then
13, all these games,
it's 14 billion, 13.52 billion in 2024. How much is the market size by 2034 in 10 years? Now it's 13.5 billion.
I don't know, at least double, triple.
Give me a number.
45.
198 billions. So it's growing by at least every year by 35%, if not more. If not more.
Think about it.
They're compounding. It's just like,
yeah,
it's compounding. So it's like 35 minimum of 35%. That's why I'm saying is a huge market opportunity there, because you see that the console, there are not as many games out there yet, but the consoles are there yet. So it's just the games need to reach that point. And then you have like basically, if you start in this industry right now, building games, and the market, like a rising tide, like lifts up all ships. Exactly. So basically, it doesn't matter if you get a tiny slice, whatever, but your market, because it's expanding over the next 10 years, it will be like 15x the market size. 15x, which is a ridiculous amount. And you will it would be very hard.
Exactly. It would be really hard. But another thing is with games particular, I think sometimes a shelf life, or whatever you want to call it, or half life of games can be very short, in the sense of sometimes it gets boring, right? Yes. You also have an influx of more people coming in. That's probably why it increases so much, because I don't think that these are going to be so many more power users that couldn't spend more money at the beginning. Now there's more opportunity to spend it, but because there's going to be a massive influx of people coming in, I'm guessing.
But it's also with any games, right? Mobile apps, also with apps in general that you're using, whether it be for example, subscription, anything you have. After a while, you might get get bored.
No, 100%.
And then you stop using
games are just like, can be like, for example, what was it called?
I think the biggest problem, it still has a big following. The same with like if you go,
no, it's not big.
What's
anymore.
The one where you kill somebody?
Among Us.
Among Us, still huge. It still makes so much money. Look at Pokemon Go, also makes still hundreds of millions each year, even though we just played for a while and then stopped playing it because it was boring for us. But for others, for the power users who stick around, it was a huge experience. That's, I think, the biggest problem that you see as a game developer currently is that the discoverability. Doesn't matter whether you're doing an app, like on the App Store, like a game there, mobile app or desktop app. It's just like so many apps out there. It's very, very hard to be discovered. Whereas I believe in the VR market, VR games market, there are so little games out there right now, and that way you can be discovered much easier and go viral. Additionally, you have a completely different target group, because if you're looking right now, people who are using VR headsets tend to be much, much younger, and when they look, for example, younger kids, they'll put a VR headset on, they're thinking like, what the fuck is a desktop computer? Like, even when they look at the TV, they're like, why? I have my mobile right here. Why would I ever use a TV like for playing console games or whatever? So like the next generation will just working, that's what Apple is trying to get people to, or playing games just with the headset on.
Well, I think at some point you can also argue that it would also be just possible with a phone.
Oh yeah, you can just click it in. I believe it's just like that's what there were some of these headsets, right? Where you have these
paper. They were like,
paper
like carton, and then you put them in. Samsung one, I think you just had the Samsung phone there like that.
I mean, to be honest, I believe you would still need the headset itself, but that the computing will be done by the mobile phone. So basically that you can just like plug it in by a cable, USB-C or whatever, put it on the side or whatever. Wherever.
But think about it. But yeah, for sure there will be, but I think there will be sub-market, because then, right, you can just basically buy nunchucks that you put on the side, and then you have that for your hands. Because some people don't want to buy the headset or something. It's just a nuisance. So I'm guessing someone will come up with this.
But that would be the equivalent to buying a screen. So I think that way you can compare it to, because also that's one of the things I wanted to show you is, even though the market right now is like 14 billion, like how big is the console market right now? Just give me a number.
74 billion.
57 billion. And it's going to be by 2029, 80 billion. So basically the VR market will overtake the console market within the next, 5 to 6 years.
Which is crazy also, because think about it, like 10 years ago, I mean, the mobile market, I think they're surpassed now already the
exactly
market.
That's why I'm seeing right now, because that's why I think this episode is so important, because we're seeing right now people are not, or older people like ourselves, older, 30s, underestimate the market, of VR headsets because it's like growing really, really fast, and the games haven't caught up yet. And it will just take off as mobile games in general took off because the capabilities of these headsets are just getting much better and better. So it will be like exponentially much better. Like look, consoles, 80 billion, which is a huge market. By the way, this includes games, all consoles, Nintendo, PlayStation, Microsoft, as well as all the accessories that you have. So like you have a gigantic ecosystem. Normally you should be able to compare it rather than like to Sony, to a Nintendo, because I think people don't have multiple consoles. They tend to have one, either PlayStation or Xbox. They don't have both. They might have a Switch for kids, but normally they tend to only have these two, which makes it different. And then you look at the market penetration of Meta in VR headsets, and they have 75%.
Insane.
75%. So this is a huge market, and this is just.
But the question is, at some point, will these games be hosted somewhere else? Because Meta has, right? They have the marketplace where they have the games, right? And this is also only accessible through the Meta glasses.
Yeah, through the Quest.
Yeah, exactly. But what about these Steam games?
I mean, you have them on Steam, right? You have Gorilla Tag. You have them also. I mean, you can also use exactly. You can also use the Meta headset.
Makes sense.
But it's like for me, like crazy, and like this game,
for sure. I was just thinking that like a lot of game developers will probably swap into that in the next few years because it's just like great opportunity.
Man, it even motivates me to, even though we're not developers, just like looking at the statistic, I'm like, man, it's a fucking rising tide, so all ships will go up, and these games, man.
That's true. We're just not game developers, so we're
not game developers. That's true. But I just like from the opportunity, I think it's a very, very attractive market.
I agree, brother. I agree.
We're looking at other markets like 10%. We're like, ooh, that's sexy year over year. Fucking 34% year over year growth. Jesus, hold on tight.
Wait a minute. What's happening? What's happening there?
All right, everybody. So, Mark, just summarizing, I want to give you a quick summary, and then we're out because, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to get some good old ramen. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Lucas likes the ramen.
Tip, 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 tip.
No, we're old. We can make these jokes. All right, come on. Hit him with the quick summary. Let's go.
So Meta is doing everything right there with the VR market. The marketplace is very, very smart because in the end, they can just charge a fee as well. So basically, they're entering a market that is normally dominated, for example, right now, mobile on Google or iOS. And now they basically are the third one for the future, which will be VR, and they have their own marketplace. So they're positioning themselves to have another huge income stream just from being an app store, just for VR headsets. And then in general, for developers, look into developing in VR, because it doesn't matter what, if you have these skills, if you're, for example, young, look at them, because later, this market, people will pay you so much. That's like back in the day when first iOS developers came out, like 2012. Like they were
right now,
highly
prompt engineers.
Exactly. It's like you will be superly highly paid, and there are not as many experts out there, so you're not competing with that many people. So it's definitely worth trying it out, and it's super cool. That's it. That's my rant on VR headsets. I hope you guys love it. Let us know in the comments. And of course, catch you next one. Please subscribe, hit us with comments. And yeah, peace.
Peace.